relationships as well, because you can't make money if you're sabotaging relationships.
No. Now we're gonna shift gears.
Right.
So we have to breathe again. Another guest here.
Here it go.
We
It's always
have-
right. It's always Braxton.
Right,
Right.
funny. We have a wonderful comedian in the house today. And, you know, for me, I was just honored to bring him here into the studio because I do know his walk. I'm familiar with it. I've talked to this brother several different times. And what he has done so far is just remarkable. So, introduce yourself, please.
Hey, Baltimore, once again, it's comedian Larry Lancaster, internationally known, locally accepted.
Right.
So, you know, Larry, they have crowned you, titled you Baltimore's best, funniest comedian. How does that make you feel? How do you own up to that?
Well, it makes me like, who did they ask? You ever hear the, like, watch MSNBC and you hear the poll, like 75% of the people,
You got an 80%
like
approval rating right now, right?
like racial profiling. You're like, well, they didn't ask any blacks or Mexicans, did they? So it's just one of those things where I'm flattered, I'm honored that people appreciate what I do, but it's not necessarily important for me to call myself the king of Baltimore or be the best, because that kind of breeds negativity and competition, even if people don't really understand that's what it's doing. So I just prefer to be, as an artist, like Mark was saying, I was relating to that, just being honest as an artist. And so,
not hating on you.
right. Well, yeah, that happens
You know,
too.
you know how it is.
I go through-
Whenever someone's loving you, someone's hating you.
I go through a lot of that too.
Right.
And so I'm not like Cat Williams, who like, if you don't have 20 haters by the end of the year, you ain't doing that. Like, I don't subscribe to that.
Right.
So I really don't like people hating and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just a brother trying to do his thing one show at a time and make a name for himself.
So do you feel that you're holding Baltimore down in a good light?
Of course. I represent Baltimore everywhere. As soon as I step on stage,
Okay.
people are like, I can hear that accent.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have a friend who's an artist. Her name is Michelle. She's a brilliant comedian,
Yes, I've
actress,
heard her.
songwriter.
Comedian.
Right. She does everything. And she tells me, like, you need to get rid of that Baltimore accent, because instead of saying head, I might say head, or I say read. You know what I mean? So
That's not the way you say it.
Right. Exactly. So it's just one of those things that Baltimore is in me, and I love my city.
Oh yeah, and I love when artists they stay true to who they are and where they come from. Because a lot of times when artists do leave, they forget who they are.
Right,
And
Hello, I'm Mark Evans. I'm an international recording artist.
I'm in Tokyo. Next thing you know, Mark's speaking Japanese, and he's
Oh, my
eating
goodness.
sushi.
Okoribaska.
But see, that's what I'm saying. He's internationally known,
Right,
and he's
right.
just chill.
Right, he's real chill. Mark is
You
just
know?
real unassuming, real cool guy.
And see, that's why you guys are here. That's why I invited y'all, because there's some people I don't
Right.
know.
No egos. Check him at the door.
Hey.
Isn't that one dude interviewing from the other room in a second? It's in his own. He has his own room with the penguins. What's the penguins?
Right. So let me ask you, Larry. So, how long have you? Well, let me ask you. When did you decide that it was time for you to be full time in your craft?
Well, I've wrestled with that decision for a lot of years, but I have responsibilities. I have 2 children, you know, and so I just couldn't just like, well, I'm gonna go chase my dream, and you know, meanwhile people ain't eat. So I had to wrestle with actually trying to be comfortable with doing that. And people have told me all my life, like, man, you funny. I'm telling you, you funny. You the funniest guy I know. I mean, you know, I was quoted.
Okay, yeah, I did say that.
As you
Yeah.
alluded to earlier, I was
Right,
voted.
right.
No, so
Why you wearing that belt, dude? It say the greatest.
right, the
of all
greatest
time.
champ. I'm the champ. So what happens is, a lot of times you don't believe in yourself. No matter what the outside people are telling you, you have to really feel that you're ready. And so I used to watch comics and like, man, I'm funny around my boys, but I don't know if I could be a professional comedian. And so after years of people telling me, I tried it. I got in the open mic contest. I finally got up the nerve. I got all my co-workers. I was working at the Baltimore County Detention Center at the time. I was a corrections officer for like 13 years. And I got all my co-workers together, and they came down to the Latin Palace and supported me. And 2 great comics got me started. One of them was named Stacy Carver and Jay Phillips. And they were the comedians. And after seeing them perform, I said, man, this is what I want to do. People tell me I'm funny all the time. How I get started. And they say, well, we got an open mic competition next week. Take these 10 tickets, you know, sell them or whatever. This will be your registration fee. And I came back with a crowd of people I got a standing ovation my first time on stage.
Wow, you
I had
did?
no idea what I was doing. I was so petrified.
Wow.
I was thinking about falling backstage and say I broke my legs. Like I was that.
To break a leg, I did, so I had to go on.
It's that vulnerable.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went out there. I got over the nerves. I did it, and I talked to myself. I said, if I don't go out here tonight, I'll never tell another joke again.
See?
So I went out there, and I've been doing it ever since.
And see, that's why I'm so happy that everybody has made that movement, that you know, they've done that for themselves. Because if you haven't decided to make that choice, then you would have been home. You know, it wouldn't have been that Larry comedian, Mark Evans.
Even the funny dude at the bar.
Right.
We all
And I didn't want to be, and that's what I was thinking about. Like, I don't want to be.
I could have been
60 years old saying I should have, would have, could have.
Right.
Oh yeah, and see, and we would have actually been listening to this station today, listening to other people.
Right.
So,
Oh,
I
wow.
want to